We are listening in as President Obama addresses about 140 what described as youth leaders. But quickly, I want to go back to Congressman Bill Pascrell, who's here. It's an interesting point to note. Congressman, yesterday the president said the same thing. As long as he's president, this law will not be repealed. He is moving full steam ahead. And today, we're hearing from Speaker Boehner's office, and the strategy, it appears, for House Republicans is they say, to continue to highlight individual stories about canceled plans and higher costs. Not reacting to the president's challenge and asking if there's a better idea, propose that. What is your reaction?
Well, look, Speaker Boehner would advance his position a lot further if he put in the good examples as well as the bad examples. We can all pick out situations that are horrific and cast them in front of the American public. The president is on course. This is not going to be repealed. The president is making changes, the administration is making changes, and they should. We don't only have a problem in terms of rollout of this legislation of the ACA, but we also have problems internally. We all know that. But look how long it took the Social Security system to get moving. Look how long it took Medicare. And now let's look to just Plan D, as I mentioned before. We cooperated, though, even though we voted no on Plan D, the drug bill. We cooperated out there. Well, I went back to my district and met with my seniors and told them, look, that's the law of the land now.
Right.
And if it's the law of the land, let's implement it and not make excuses. And the president is right. I said this in a hearing this morning. What in God's name is their plan? They don't have a plan. It's a ruined director set. That's what it is.
Today on Morning Joe, your colleague, Congressman Tom Cole of Oklahoma, says that the Republicans are putting ideas on the table, but the quote was, but frankly, the president has not put very many ideas on the table. This is his legislation. It's not worked well. I would expect the corrective to come largely from him. But he's saying or claiming that Republicans are putting ideas on the table. Your reaction?
Yeah, we've had ancient ideas. There's no question about it. Tom Cole's a great friend of mine, one of the few Republicans who are not afraid to look at ideas across the aisle. But Tom is dead wrong on this. And I've told him publicly, and I will tell him again after his talk this morning, and I watched that very carefully this morning. The point is that they have no bill they've ever voted on before the House. I haven't seen any this year. I mean, we haven't voted on many things this year. Bring it forward. Let's see what happens. Somebody held it up in a meeting 2 weeks ago, and they just had signed on 5 days before that. They have no plan. This is a whole hodgepodge of ideas that were voted down a long time ago, starting under the Bush administration. Privatization. Look, this is within the private market. Let's make it work. Let's come together. Unlike my governor in the state of New Jersey, who took the Medicaid money, at least got a half right, in order for the many people who are eligible for that, and then took $7 million, over $7 million from the ACA Act to begin to educate folks in New Jersey when we should have had an individual plan in New Jersey, our own exchange program. He chose not to do it. He didn't step up to the plate. He's not a bipartisan individual. That's a lot of baloney. And this is a perfect example. We're talking about people, life or death. We're talking about health here. We're not talking about simply nibbling at the edges. This is what it's all about. Your health is what is most important. And it's, of course, we thank God that we do have our health and pray for those who don't. This is an absurdity put forth by the Republican governors. It's not going anyplace. Look to the governors who have taken their exchanges, put them into the states. They're doing a lot more. $7 million unspent in the state of New Jersey. And this governor of the state of New Jersey, for not going in, starting our own exchange, blew through $300 million. Case closed.
Congressman Pascrell, thank you so much for your time. We greatly appreciate it. We are thankful that you stuck around while we listened to the president in day 2 of this push by the president, the administration, and Democrats. Thank you.
Cameron, it's always a pleasure to be with you, always.
Well, the programming notes